verses of the Holy Quran where survival of the fittest has been mentioned in their own relative perspectives. So there is no denying this fact. So how could it be possible then that the same principle is denied by Allah as far as the religious phenomena is concerned? It is not denied. What the Holy Quran says is this, that according to you, the fittest is the one who is more materialistic, who has turned away from religion and God, and he is more powerful. But in the eyes of Allah, the fittest is the one who establishes his contact with the Creator and lives with the strength gained by that contact, that relationship which he has gained between him and the Creator, that is more powerful, that has greater capability to stay and overwhelm all other forces of death. So here the term life and death would mean two different things. Not ordinary life which we understand here and ordinary death, but a spiritual life and spiritual death. When they come into clash, because the spiritual life has a better chances of survival because it is the fittest, so it will overcome the material forces which oppose it. Now this is the struggle which we see during the coming of prophets. Apparently they are weak materialistically. If that were all the factors which would go to the computer, the result should be that they would be definitely totally annihilated, because in terms of worldly materials and strength they have been totally outweighed and outnumbered, and there is no chance of their survival because they are not fit in the material terms. But if there is such a factor, as has been mentioned in the Holy Quran many a time, that there is a God and he does establishes relationship between him and those who seek, then that factor is overwhelmingly strong. Whatever may be the odds against them materially, this factor would offset all those odds and they must come out victorious. So the rule is not broken. Only one end of the rule is not seen by the materialistic eye. That is in the ghaib, and the whole religious phenomena is ghaib, that is absent from the eye. Right? And the third question, please.
Sir, I wanted if anybody else.
No, your questions are always very interesting and very thought-provoking. I think you better ask any question, any number of questions you please. When we are run short, then we'll give Mr. Bashir have an exercise. Right? Yes.
I'm reading some models on evolution which have been written by some of the American scientists, and the law of the doubles which has been described. One particular model has denied the fact that the law of the doubles survives to the end in certain varieties of species. He claims that it starts with the law of the double, but eventually it dies off.
But how does he illustrate this?
Hazur, he has created certain parameters, and according to those parameters he comes down to the answer that eventually it is something like 1.3 which is left at the end rather than the double. And the two factors he has taken is that when this law starts applying, then certainly
what starts?
The law of the double starts applying.
No, first you better illustrate it in the terms of examples if he has done so.
Yes, Hazur, he has taken the insects first of all.
Yes.
Certain insects.
Yes.
And then he has described the varieties of that particular insect.
Correct.
And within the varieties he says that, within the species there are many varieties. And what he says that if one variety is going to be multiplied and developed, it will divide into 2 and 4.
Yes, I understand that, yes.
But suddenly, as soon as he starts the process, he says that because of the fact that certain are stronger than the other. Even the division takes place, one half is stronger than the other, some of them die.
Naturally, that's correct.
Right.
Yes.
And also what he says is that some of the halves from another variety come into it, but they do not balance each other. And hence the net result is that the law of doubles does not hold good throughout the whole process. So somewhere along the line he comes down to the end, according to a mathematical formula, that it is either 1.3 or 1.5 times eventually. But when we look back from the law of doubles right in the beginning, we always understood that that is a law which is more applicable and which Hazur has explained some times ago. I wonder whether this new development, the mathematical model, has...
I fully agree with this author that the law of doubles does not work mathematically to the finest shades. It's a general law, and it is the principle of doubling which guarantees the survival of species. If that law were not in operation, then we would be left far behind somewhere back, in the ages. This rapid development could not have taken place. But it does not mean that it could develop to its very fine details. Had it done so, then this earth would have been filled with so many species, and even your system would have been filled with so many bacteria and things that the survival itself would have been jeopardized. So the law of doubles is effective in principle, and but its failures are also effective in principle for the same purpose. They are working both for the same purpose, survival of the species. And they are balanced. There is another law of doubles. The law of double is working for the same purpose as the failure of law of doubles to achieve perfection. And there is a complete balance between the two. I quite positively know that if this law of doubles had worked completely to all finality, then there would not have been any survival on this earth.
It would be explosion, Hazur.
The explosion across way back. I mean, you can't imagine how far before, maybe 2-3 billion years ago, this might have happened already. So that other is also a law in itself. The law of doubles is forces and the opposite forces which are working against it, so that it does not effectively take over the charge of the things. And that balance is so beautifully kept by God that all development is dependent on this balance of the law and its failure.
Hazura, if I can continue with the same question, because then the same author, having gone through this law, tries to predict the total time of survival of certain species, and then eventually he says that...
But that is so far away. It must have been. I mean, I know mathematically he would have been talking, he might have been talking of a billion years or a million years hence. So we don't know what might happen much before that. It's just an exercise, nothing more. Any other question, please? Yes? Mubashir, you have also thought of something? At last? Yes.
Hazura, could you throw some light on the nature of angels, and with particular reference to the phenomenon which is called descent of angels, especially in troubled times such as we are facing?
This subject has been discussed at some length by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu in his book Malaikatullah. It's a very interesting book. I had it republished from Pakistan some time ago, but I wonder if it reached Europe as well. It's very important that in the modern age, Ahmadi youth in particular should read that book, Because this is a very important question which agitates everybody.